Hello again, everyone. Let's start a new game. Origin Systems Incorporated presents a Lord British production. Yeah, it's my crap. Ultima V. Flaming Warriors of Destiny. That slowly fills in with white. Yes, very, very slowly. Oh, and look, the summoning! I guess I'm laying in bed, and it all happens very slowly. Oh look, something appeared on the floor! Let's speed up the game a little bit. Oh no, it disappeared! Well, I guess I better get up. Wandering through my house, which looks mysteriously old. Oh look, a reflection in the mirror. Let's open the door. Look, a box. Let's open the box. A sword. And a shield. And these are not the items that I left Britannia with in Ultima IV. Where's my stuff? Maybe I sold it. After all, I was probably gone for quite a while. Yes, I look good in the mirror. Ha ha ha. Let's go outside. And wait for the scene to slowly change. I guess I built my house near the stone circle from Ultima IV, huh? Slowly walk along the path, and yes, I have sped the game up a bit. It is very slow. Very, very slow. Yes, just stand by the stone circle. And go into the stone circle. And stand around. I'm just standing. I just like coming out here every once in a while. Oh, look! A moon gate! Sweet! Let's go in. Maybe we'll go someplace cool, like Mars. Or Jotun. That would be awesome. But it looks like we're not in either of those places. Shucks. Hey, there's someone walking along, crossing the bridge. Heading towards the, well, I guess they're not heading towards the hut. Maybe they are. I don't know, they're just standing around. Waving their sword like a crazy fool. Haha! I've arrived! Yes! Me. You can be happy now. Yes, we are both waving swords at each other. Let's start wandering off towards this civilization hut. Oh noes! Something has appeared near the river! And another thing. All very slowly. Surely I could run over there and stab them in the time it takes. Oh, they're coming closer. Oh dears. How terrible. Meanwhile, that guy walks towards them. Yes. Oh, and he gets shot. And he's dead. Well, I will stand in front of him, and they will flee. Flee the might of me. Ha ha ha. Oh, and I just realized it says the arrival down below. Yes. Yes, it does. And they disappear because they're scared of me. Oh, how terrible. The guy is dead. Oh, I guess he was just faking it. Now we'll go to the civilization hut. Maybe they'll have a new technology for us. Agriculture? The wheel? Astronomy, maybe? Yes, let's see what they have. Slowly, very slowly. The welcoming! And it doesn't look like we're getting any technologies from this hut. Shucks. Well, better luck next time. You would think they could have sped this part up. Well, this guy looks at his clock and his stove after going to the well, and now he's sitting in his chair. And we bust in! Haha, we're robbing the place because that's what avatars do. Or not. No, I guess we're putting him to bed. Yes. Yes. So interesting. They should have put speech bubbles in. Let's sit down by the table. And sit. And sit some more. We are sitters of destiny. That's what we are. Sitters of destiny. Yes. And we're back to the beginning. Okay. So we've got menu options, journey onward, create new character, transfer from Ultima 4, Ultima 5, introduction, acknowledgements, and return to the view. Yes, we could watch the view. This game in 1988 predicted the view. Well, let's see the introduction. The summoning. From nowhere, smoky wisps of clouds begin to form in the clear, moonlit sky. In a few short moments, the sky is filled with dark, ominous clouds that completely block the moon's pale light. Your bedroom is bathed in quiet darkness as you lie sleeping lightly. Something rouses you, and your eyes open sleepily to be met by a soft blue glow reflecting from the wall. Slowly, you turn your head until you can see the source of the light. You take a quick breath as you see that the light is emanating from the shimmering circle suspended over your bed. As you look at the light, a darkening begins to appear in its center. The darkening gradually materializes in a form you suddenly recognize as a symbol of the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom. The last time you saw such as this was beyond the circle of stones in the nearby woods. That prior occasion marked the quest that forever changed the course of your life. Not that you could tell in this world. You stare as the light begins to diminish and finally wink out. Something falls softly on the bed. Reaching out, you turn on the light at your bedside. There, lying before you, is an amulet. You hesitantly reach for it. Gripping it tightly in your hand, your finger automatically traces over the familiar etching on its surface. Finally, a sign from Britannia! It has to be. It could be nothing else. And we will soon learn that they only ever call when they need something. Jerks. No, never call just to say hi. No, just when they need something. Jumping from the bed, you hastily pull on some clothes. With a few long strides, you cross the room to stand before a glass case sitting on a shelf. Visible beneath the glass, resting upon a velvet cloth, is the Ankh, a symbol of your avatarhood. And I'm sure everyone who comes to my house asks me about it, and I have no way to tell them. Reverently, you open the glass case and remove it. If what you think is happening is truly happening, then you may have need of this. You open the door of your bedroom, and step out, hesitating, one hand on the door. You look back, wondering if you will ever return. Shaking your head of these thoughts, you pull the door closed and leave the house, completely forgetting to lock the door. With the aid of an occasional moonbeam piercing the dark cloud cover, you head for the circle of stones near the willow tree in the nearby woods. Strange shadows cast by the moonlight filter down through the treetops as thoughts of the past race through your mind. Your attention is returned to the present as you see just ahead the circle of stones. Often had you come here and sat for hours at a time, completely blowing off work, hoping to once again see the shimmering blue door that would allow you to return to Britannia. To those whose friendship had come to mean so much, and Iolo. But never had the blue door reappeared. Less frequently you came, until finally, sadly, you gave up altogether. It only took a month, too. With renewed hope, you stand before the circle of stones, the Ankh in one hand and the amulet in the other. Minutes slip by and nothing happens. Impatience turns to anxiety. The gate must open! The mystical arrival of the amulet could mean nothing else. Long do you stand there until the amulet slips from your grip and falls within the circle of stones. While you stare dejectedly at the amulet lying within the circle, you notice a bluish shimmering in the air above the amulet. Looking down at the Ankh in your hand, you see it is also enveloped in a soft blue glow. Carefully, you place the glowing Ankh beside the amulet. Instantly, a shimmering blue door springs up. With heart beating rapidly, you step into it. The arrival. Ooh, and you stand there in gear that the game did not actually tell you picked up. As a bolt of lightning flashes behind you. Ooh. Your senses are jerked from their momentary disorientation by a blinding streak of lightning that strikes with a thunderous crash not more than 100 feet from you. See, you should not wear armor out in a clearing during a storm. You're standing in a clearing surrounded by a dark and forbidding forest. Overhead, roiling black clouds fill the sky, while thunder and lightning continue to crash around you. Britannia! It must be Britannia! But something is wrong. Instead of the sense of elation you expected upon returning here after all these years, you are overcome with a foreboding sense of wrongness. "My friend!" shouts someone behind you. A familiar voice from the past causes you to whirl about. Racing toward you is Shimino, someone you thought you might never see again. Strongly grasping your hand, he exclaims, "We were afraid the summoning would fail. 'Tis nigh impossible to use any magic without invoking intervention from Blackthorn. Let us not tarry, for the summoning has surely not gone unnoticed." Blackthorn? Who is Blackthorn? I don't remember Blackthorn. How long have I been gone? Answer my questions, Shimino! Answer my questions now! Oh, look, robed guys. Trusting your friend's judgment, you hold your many questions until a safer time. Well, or apparently not. Hastily, you retrieve the amulet and ankh that lie at your feet, but before you can move, the very darkness about you begins to swirl and change. 3 shapes begin to materialize in the murky gloom. "Shadow Lords!" hisses Shimino through clenched teeth. Quickly, he draws... Actually, I forgot to clench my teeth. Oh well. Quickly, he draws his sword and moves between you and the barely discernible shapes. Yes. Yes. Protect me, the Avatar. Nice going, Shimino. And the picture doesn't show him between us. The foremost apparition traces a pattern in the air with a wispy forefinger. An ebony black arrow solidifies before it and hangs suspended for a moment. Then, with a flick of its hand, the Shadow Lord casts the glowing bolt at Shimino. The arrow strikes him full in the chest. Dropping his sword, he sinks to the ground, lines of pain and something worse etched into his face. The dark forms close in around you. At your feet, Shimino's body convulses in pain, but not a sound escapes his lips. Without warning, the amulet, tightly gripped in your hand, emits a bright blue glow. Upon seeing the amulet, the Shadow Lords shrink back. The wispy shadows start to swirl and fade back into the inky darkness from whence they came. Shimino lies upon the ground, body twisted in agony, the dark arrow protruding from his chest. A normal arrow could not cause such pain. It must be the evil enchantment with which it was created. Realizing it must be removed, you jerk the arrow from Shimino's body and probably cause more damage than you would if you left it in, and hurl it with all your might. The air about the arrow crackles as it flies into the darkness. Shimino's body relaxes. Inspecting the bloody wound, you notice it is already beginning to fester from the foulness with which the bolt was conjured. "We will find aid at Iolo's. It is but a short walk to the east," Shimino mutters. With a grim determination, you help Shimino to his feet and half carry him out of the clearing and eastward through the forest. The story. That is a very small hut. Within a short time, the soothing sounds of a lute begin being masterfully played, can be heard through the forest ahead. Well, I guess we're at the wrong hut. Iolo couldn't play anything masterfully. Rounding the bend in the path, you see a dim light emanating from a small hut nestled among the trees. Approaching the hut, you loosen an arm from around Shimino and knock on the heavy wooden door. The lute playing stops abruptly to be replaced by the muffled clinking of metal. "Who goes there?" demands a familiar voice from within. Leaning wearily against you, Shimino mutters, "Open the door, thou son of a goat, before I donate all my blood to decorate thy doorstep." The door jolts open to reveal the familiar form of Iolo standing framed within the doorway. Reaching out to help Shimino, Iolo turns to you with a grimace. "My friend, thou art a sight for sore eyes. I see that Shimino, as usual, has been unable to stay out of trouble." His casual remarks cannot mask his deep concern as he helps Shimino to a bed and carefully attends to his wound. After seeing to Shimino, Iolo fills 2 mugs with a foaming broth and beckons you to a coarse wooden table next to the warm hearth. "'Tis good to see thee after these many long years, my friend. It seems thy summoning didst not go unnoticed. From the looks of Shimino's wound, I'd say thou dost now know of the Shadow Lords." You recount to Iolo the events of your arrival. Your patience giving out, a flood of questions erupts from you. "Slowly, my friend," Iolo smiles. "Make thyself at ease, and I will tell thee of the bitter events that have brought us to these dark times. Not long after thy departure, Lord British and the most prominent wizards of Britannia gathered at his castle and called a meeting of the Great Council. Among the acts of the Council was the sealing of the dungeons that lie beneath Britannia in hopes of entombing the foul denizens that dwell within. Some creatures still manage to escape, but their eyes are unaccustomed to light. They rarely roam the countryside by day, but wary must be the traveler by night." Another act of the Great Council, and by far the most difficult, was to raise the Codex from the depths of the abyss. The influx of the combined magical power of the Great Council disrupted the very bowels of Britannia. Where once was the abyss, now stands an immense mountain, created from molten lava that spewed forth. And I'll just go on record right now and say that this is probably the worst decision ever made in the history of Britannia. Thanks, Lord British. Thanks. Unbeknownst to the Council, our new and glorious mountain left an enormous void over which all of Britannia rests. Some speculate that the dungeons may reach into this underground void at their deepest levels. It is believed that the underworld has become a vast breeding ground for creatures who have grown into horrors far worse than their original forms. A band of adventurers chanced upon a tunnel beneath the river that flows through the Spirit Wood, where one of these caverns collapsed, opening a passage to the underworld. They returned, weary and bewildered, with tales of creatures that mount the dark air and others that shake the ground. Lord British was intrigued by these tales and gathered an entourage of stalwart fighters to accompany him into the underworld. But his party was overwhelmed by the tremendous number and power of these creatures, though they fought valiantly. Panic erupted throughout Britannia when the sole survivor of the expedition returned with a small parchment upon which was recorded the dread tale of their journey. Incidentally, this tale is in the manual, so if you want that, go find the manual and read it. Hilo pauses momentarily as he reflects upon these dark thoughts. Blackthorn, a trusted but ambitious subject, took over the ruling of Britannia to calm the ensuing chaos. This we accepted until the Shadow Lords appeared. They corrupted Blackthorn in some manner unbeknownst to us, and Blackthorn's reign is now one of oppression and tyranny. Through him, the meaning of the virtues have been corrupted to serve the self-righteous. Shimino, myself, and others thou hast known, have been declared outlaws by Blackthorn's regime and must skulk about as common criminals. We keep distance between ourselves so that we canst not be rounded up in one fell swoop. But this cannot go on forever. Blackthorn and those hellish Shadow Lords are bleeding Britannia. Rule must be restored to Lord British if he still lives. And if not, I volunteer. I'll be a good king. You know. Okay, I'd be as bad as Blackthorn, but that's okay. The gravity of the matter compelled us to risk a meeting. We arrived at the only possible answer. Attempt to summon thee, my friend, to aid us in our quest to discover the fate of Lord British. Yeah, I know, because you people can't do anything on your own. Even British can't do anything on his own. The risk was great, for no use of strong magical power goes unnoticed by the Shadow Lords, but we felt there was no other choice. Shaking off the gloom of his tail, a jovial glint returns to Aiolo's eye. He nods in Shimino's direction and says, But since thou art here, my friend, and hath naught else to do, I'm sure, what say thee we nursemaid this poor excuse for an adventure back to some semblance of health, then embark upon our quest. If life still breathes within Lord British, we shall restore him as the rightful ruler of Britannia. And we're back to the menu. And we could, again, return to the view and watch all of that again in the lovely graphics of this game. Or we could, let's go ahead and create a new character, and then we will import. Unfortunately, you are limited to fewer characters in this game than you were in the last game, so I will have to name my character Min. And then we get to go through basically the same type of process that we went through at the beginning of Ultima IV. Far from your mind, while strolling through the nearby woods, is the rumor of a mysterious gypsy wagon that some claim to have seen. But then you see the colorful wagon sitting in the valley below. Strangely, you find yourself drawn to the wagon. As you approach, a woman's voice from inside says, Enter, O seeker. Upon entering, you find an old gypsy sitting in a curtained room. In front of her is a table upon which sit 2 incense bowls. The ancient gypsy smiles as she says, We have been waiting such a long time, but at last you have come. Sit here, and I shall read the path of your future. She throws some powder into the bowls that cause a thick blue smoke to boil upwards from them. Staring into the smoke, she says, Let us begin the casting. A local bully pushes for a fight. Dost thou A. valiantly trounce the rogue, or B. decline, knowing in thy spirit that no lasting good will come of it? Let's go with A. Thee and thy friends have been routed and ordered to retreat in defiance of thy orders. Dost thou A. stop in compassion to aid a wounded companion, or B. sacrifice thyself to slow the pursuing enemy, so others can escape? I'll go with A. Unwitnessed, thou hast slain a great dragon in self-defense. A poor warrior claims the offered reward. Dost thou A. justly step forward to claim the reward, or B. humbly go about life, secure in thy self-esteem? I will justly step forward to claim the reward. Thou art sworn to protect thy lord at any cost, yet thou knowest he hast committed a crime. Authorities ask thee of the affair. Dost thou A. break thine oath by honestly speaking, or B. uphold honor by silently keeping thine oath? I will be honest. Thou hast been prohibited by thy absent lord from joining thy friends in a close-pitched battle. Dost thou A. refrain so thou may honestly claim obedience, or B. show valor and aid thy comrades, knowing thou may deny it later? A. After 20 years thou hast found the slayer of thy best friends. The villain proves to be a man who provides the sole support for a young girl. Dost thou A. spare him in compassion for the girl, or B. slay him in the name of justice? I'll go with A. Entrusted to deliver an uncounted purse of gold. Thou dost meet a poor beggar. Dost thou A. deliver the gold, knowing the trust in thee was well placed, or B. show compassion, giving the beggar a coin, knowing it won't be missed? I'll go with A again. The reason I did all that was so that I would start as a mage. Unlike Ultima IV, this game only has 3 classes: Fighter, Bard, and Wizard. So, and of course you'll always start as an avatar, which is better than any of the classes, but this process determines your starting stats. So, I mean, you can choose whichever you want. So be it, says the gypsy, as if from a great distance. Thy path is chosen. Thus began thy quest as chronicled in Ultima IV. Wait, we went to a Renaissance fair in Ultima IV. Darn retcons. With the defeat of the Triad of Evil marking the end of the 3 Ages of Darkness, the lands of Britannia entered a new Age of Enlightenment, hence the name of this trilogy. A champion was needed to show the peoples of Britannia the long-neglected path to virtue. You were chosen to be this champion. Heroically did you grow strong in the ways of the 8 virtues: honesty, compassion, valor, justice, sacrifice, honor, spirituality, and humility, all by, of course, becoming a dastardly rogue, and then kind of cheating and getting myself back up by giving to the poor and stuff like that. By many great deeds did you gain understanding of truth, love, and courage, thus becoming the first mortal to set eyes upon the Codex of ultimate wisdom. Upon completing your heroic quest, having shown the landsmen of Britannia the way of the Avatar, you return to your world, an Avatar in your own right. Again, I still wonder how they knew that I became an Avatar. So, then you'd choose Journey Onward to actually start the game. However, you can transfer your character from Ultima IV. Found Elmindre, a level 8 female, strength 50, dexterity 50, intelligence 50. Elmindre is an avatar. It's supposed to be Elmindretta. Grr. Okay, so no min. Since I can't use the longer name. And oddly enough, you can change sex. You cannot change class because it'll keep you as an avatar. You do lose 9,000 experience points, unfortunately. Experience has been converted. Level has been converted and drops you down to level 5. Excuse me. You do, once again, have to be level 8 to finish the game. So, and strength was 50 out of a max 50, is now 25 out of a max 30. Curses. Same thing with dexterity and intelligence. And then we journey onward. And here we are in Iolo's hut. And as you can see, the graphics are fantastic compared to Ultima IV, although the basic layout of the game is the exact same. You still have Z-stats to look at your stats. You can see I have 25 magic points, good health, level 5 avatar, and hit points and hit points maximum are different now. Ultima 4 it was 100 points, 100 hit points per level. Now it's 30 per level. I'm level 5, so I have 150 hit points. I'm equipped with a chain coif, chain mail, longsword, Ankh. Shimino is a level 2 fighter. Has 5 hit points right now out of a maximum of 60. And Iolo is a bard, which means he has magic points. So he can also cast spells, which is quite handy. I have some food, I have some gold, I have some keys, I have some torches, no gems though. I do have some reagents, I do have some spells, and as you can see, these spells are now listed by their words of power. So in lore is light, grav pour is, what is that? It's an attack spell of some kind, magic missile. Anzu is awaken. And Nox is cure poison. I will need a lot of those. Manny is heal. All of those are level 1 spells. Anzen Core is... actually, it's Anzen Corp. That's repel undead. And Vaslor, I believe that's Great Light. Let me see. Yeah, Great Light. Oh, and I have Vasflam, which is just like a fireball thing, I believe. Yeah. So I need a lot more spells. Oh, and I have my pocket watch. I have 3 yellow potions. I have 3 scrolls of, again, oh, what did I do with that book? In this game, and there my papers go. Whee! This game uses the runic alphabet extensively. Not as extensively as some of the other games, but it's the first one that does so. So it will require quite a bit of translation on the fly. Where's my book? I do not have the Ultima V book around here. I do have the Ultima 7 book, which has the, I believe, which has the runic alphabet in it somewhere. There we go. So that scroll, that very first item there is IS. So that would be Insant, protection. So I got 2 of those. I'm not sure how to get more. I have a small shield, cloth armor, 6 daggers, wow. Club, flame oil, and then we're back. So that's C stats. A lot more things to go through in Z stats now. Otherwise, the game basically runs the exact same as Ultima 4. You still have to hold up in camp with H. You know, A for attack, C for cast, B for board, E for enter, you know, things like that. You have to mix up spells. Really annoying. I hate that. I'm so glad that wasn't put into any of the others. However, you have some new options. Thou dost see a hot stove. Search. Thou dost find nothing of note. Thou dost see an oaken barrel. Let's search it. In the barrel thou dost find nothing of note. Let's look at this. Thou dost see a pitcher. Thou dost see a flickering torch. Borrowed! Haha! Okay, and there's also an option, Control K, which will give you your karma points, which is the basically your avatar hood in this game. As you can see, it's currently 75. So you can keep track of, you know, anything that you do wrong. So like, thou dost see bountiful crops. Crops picked. I get 1 point of food, and I lose a point of karma. So, yeah. You can get food this way, but it's pointless. It really is pointless. Thou dost see well. Drop a coin. Yes. Thy wish. Corvette. No effect. Ah, shucks. Oh, I think it's a specific... There's a specific well that you can wish in and get horses. I can't remember which one it is. Let's see. There's something around here that I can... Alright, let me pull up my map of this Iolo's hut. Where's my map of Iolo's hut? Z stats again. Which pauses. Too many maps. Way too many maps. There we go. Ah, okay. Oh, it's locked. Thou'll see a fruit tree. And nothing of note. Alright, well, let's go ahead and leave. And I'm going to go ahead and save the game. And in the next episode, we will wander around. As you can see, Shimeno still only has 5 hit points, so I need to get him healed at some point. But more importantly, I need to actually begin wandering around and finding stuff. Finding items and information and things of that nature. So, we'll see you in the next episode as we actually get moving into the game. See you then!